What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a brand new Madden 25 off-season rebuild with the Atlanta Falcons. This was as voted on by you guys over the last couple off-season rebuilds. Falcons were getting a lot of love, and while this is our fifth off-season rebuild, we've already done the Browns, Jaguars, Raiders, and Giants, and all of these rebuilds have been current day. Post-2025 NFL Draft, post-free agency, using the most accurate rosters known to man, we have been rebuilding these teams in a minimum of 5, trying to get that Super Bowl. But if not, while it's kind of a little bit of an L, we will take these rebuilds to extra time, to overtime, year 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 10, to try and win a Super Bowl. But this video today is the first time we're using the Ultimate Rookie mod. So on top of having guys like Michael Penix, you got his tattoos, accurate like this, better, you get the mods for gear, which is awesome, and that's going to be kind of cool for the immersion of our players here in Atlanta. But we also have the player portraits for the draft class that was. We have Gray, you have Nick Nash on the offensive side of the ball, the big dogs on the defensive side of the ball, Jalon Walker and James Pearce. The man that, let's be honest, probably was outrageous value to trade a future first-round pick for a pick in the 20s to go get a pass rusher. But I think at the end of the day, for a team in the Atlanta Falcons who, with Ebiketie, with Leonard Floyd, Ororo, who they got last year from Clemson, like the pass rush has not been on point. And I don't think at this point any amount of draft capital would care to the Atlanta Falcons if James Pearce and Jalon Walker become double-digit sack players, which, given their ceilings, given their athletic profile, there's a lot of possibility that could happen. On top of that, as you can see with this mod, we have player portraits for a lot of the big name players for the upcoming draft classes, our realistic draft class, using real college football players and using them to help facilitate this Falcons team to turn into a Super Bowl contender. So I'm excited to finally have my hands on this mod and utilize it in our offseason rebuilds going forward. I dropped a video the other day on how to utilize this mod on PC for your Madden franchise modes. Go check that out if you're interested and you play on PC, and you want to, hey, have your own off-season rebuilds. So breaking down this roster for the Atlanta Falcons. Offensive line, we'll start with the big dudes up front. Love the Canadian Bergeron. Lindstrom's one of the best guards in the NFL. We're going to go with the rookie Gray out of Oregon State at center. Tackles are interesting, though, because Matthews, all reliable. McGarry's 81, but both these guys are sniffing with, if not already, are at that regressive point. And when this team's probably good, probably going to be competing for a Super Bowl, year 3, year 4, year 5 of this rebuild. What is our tackle situation going to look like? Probably not great. We're probably going to have to get some successors in place. We have Kyle Pitts, one of the most polarizing players in the NFL. I think undeniable talent, but it comes to a point in time where it's just like, who knows, man? Is it the scheme? Is it all these different coaches can't get the most of him? Or is he just a little overrated? I am a Florida Gator fan. Kyle Pitts is one of my favorite players that I've ever seen run through Florida. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to have him start in the slot. I want him to get more of a lion's share of the targets. I think you have Mooney speed on the outside. Drake London is a jump ball guy. I think the role for Kyle Pitts is to work quick routes, middle of the field, easy option for the quarterback. I think putting him in the slot will do that. I think there could be a healthy relationship between him, Drake London, and Michael Penix, who with the PC mods, we got the tattoos there. I don't know if he has the earrings in regular Madden or not, but we're going to put the C on his chest because it is his team now. But because it is his team now, we have a very interesting dilemma at quarterback. Kirk Cousins, very expensive, taking up a lot of our salary cap. I'm going to throw him up in the trade block. I'm going to throw a couple players on this team up on the trade block because of that trade to go get James Pearce. We do not have a first-round pick in 2026. I'm not saying we're going to be able to recoup a first-round pick. Highly unlikely, but if we can get a couple day 2 picks, second, third rounders, I can offset that. I kind of think that's the very first thing we have to do once we are done this team breakdown to start this rebuild. Same, you got Algier at running back. I think in real life, awesome to have that 1-2 punch. Maybe if you're a Falcon fan, a little frustrating. Some of the reps he might take over Bijan Robinson, who's one of the most electrifying running backs in the league. But Algiers, he's a dog. He's a good player. Got the sick tribal tattoo. God, these mods are sick. But Algier at 80, there's value there, I think, for him going on the trade block. Someone might, if you're desperate for a running back, there's a guy that could potentially be a starter and an upgrade on a lot of teams in the NFL because this is firmly going to be Bijan Robinson's team. It's been a minute since I've paid attention to the Falcons as well. I don't know. I want to be cautiously optimistic that this is an offense that Bijan can get his and we can have some pretty good passing numbers as well. But we'll all find that out together. the defense has been an issue. That's why they paid so much to get James Pearce Jr. to pair that with Jalon Walker. End game for these two dudes is double-digit sack guys. I don't know if the Falcons playbook can handle that. We just rebuilt the New York Giants, and we found a 3-4 defense that was sick. So I will keep that in mind. But I like to think between Jalon Walker and James Pearce Jr., who I think he just officially locked in number 27, which is psycho behavior for an edge rusher. I mean, two S-tier type athletes. The sky's the limit for these guys to become game wreckers for our Falcons defense. So with having those two, I think someone like Arnold Ebiketie, who I did like when he was coming out of college out of Penn State, becomes surplus for us. So I'm going to throw him up on the trade block as well. Dev trait, rookie contract, edge rusher. There could be some good value coming back our way. Linebacker core, you have Ellis, who's a solid veteran, but likely is never going to be better than an 82-star. Diablo's kind of a role player. The defensive front, I'd love to see, Ororo, actually I think I nailed that. And Brandon Dorless, these guys are second-year players that are great athletes and could have upside if they get that dev trait role. So I want to be cautiously optimistic there. But I think the middle of our defense, the two linebackers and our nose tackle, Onyemata, just guys, replaceable, probably should replace sooner than later. I think Fuller here at safety, solid. You have Jesse Bates, who's one of the best safeties in the NFL, so no worries there. A.J. Terrell, would love to get him back up to the high ceiling, the high peaks that he was a couple years ago as a superstar lockdown. Put him on an island corner. I think Clark Phillips is a dog, great nickel, but definitely want to get another outside corner at some point, maybe sooner than later. That's probably going to be an attainable pick in the second round of the 2026 draft. I think it's there's a lot of depth at corner for us to maybe strike there. But if not, and we got to rock and roll, we have the legendary, this is where he's at, Keith Taylor is here. So if we need a dog, we need someone that can become a lockdown island, Revis Island 2.0. We know we have a break glass in case of emergency player in old Keith Taylor, who obviously, even from the bench, is going to be a team captain for us. We've had a trade partner, Tyler Algier, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers to be a Najee Harris replacement. I did have to throw in a 4th-round pick because that's what I want. I want the 3rds. I want a 2 and 3s for almost all these players. To get the 3rd for Algier, I had to throw in a 4th, but I'm fine with that because I find a lot of these created classes, there's a considerable drop-off once you get out of day 2, which is very realistic and similar to real life. That's why I want them 3rd-rounders. And better, I'm hoping for Kirk Cousins. I love a juicy 2nd-rounder. I don't know that Kenny had 0 trade value. Literally no one wanted him, so I figured we'll do the same thing. Detroit needs pass rush help, so I'm going to throw in a disposable. I got no freaking value whatsoever, but a 4th-round pick and Ebiketie to get up into day 2 in next year's draft class. But I thought we'd get a lot more value than this. And then we have a little bit of a monstrosity of a trade. But I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's probably going to come down to Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins for who their quarterback is. So I kind of have them between a rock and a hard spot. So we send Kirk Cousins a 3rd, 6th, and 7th this year, as well as a 5th next year. And we're able to gain and move up to a 2nd-round pick this year and a 3rd-round pick next season. Fair value. And then for the vibes, we're going to bring in Teddy Bridgewater to be our backup quarterback. He has the mentorship tag, so that's going to be extra XP for Michael Penix. So midseason, the Atlanta Falcons are 4-4, which I think is in line with likely where they're going to be next season, in my opinion. Maybe Falcon fans will disagree. I think there'll be a team that's, 10-win ceiling. Certainly should be in the NFC wildcard race. Could very well be in the NFC South race. I think that obviously the Saints are butt cheeks. Carolina, it's going to hinge on what we see out of Bryce Young. Carolina could be sneakily better than I don't know what their over-under is going to be. I'd imagine Carolina's probably, 6.5 wins? Something like that. I think Carolina should firmly, though, and New Orleans be below Atlanta in the hierarchy of the South. I think Tampa Bay, if they can get healthy, depending on how quickly Chris Godwin can get back, it should be between the Bucs and the Falcons for the NFC South. And I think where we're at midseason probably accurately represents where the South is going to be, give or take maybe a couple more wins for the Carolina Panthers. So with Atlanta at 4-4, who knows where the season's going to go. We could absolutely get a little bit hot and finish as a playoff team. Looking at our contracts right now, $66 million. So we're going to start by getting just a great veteran. Okay, Keith. You can't lowball Keith. He's his own agent, player agent. Damn, man. This is a interesting spot, all things considered. Because, Ellis is old. Do I want to pay Caleb McGarry $21 million? Like a third of my available cap next season? I'm not saying I won't. And then we have Kyle Pitts. How's Kyle Pitts playing? Through 8 games. I have him in the slot, so he's kind of cheesing his targets, and he's doing fine. You know, he probably get over 1,000. I mean, I'm biased. We're gonna throw him an offer here. 4-year, we'll round that up. 4-year, $48 million. I think we could probably get it around 50. We'll get him to sign. Actually got him less. 48.5. Kyle Pitts is locked in for the next 4 seasons. With the interview number 1, expectations kind of line up with where I had him at the beginning of the year. We struggled to go above 500. We're right in that race for 500. We're right in the race for the wild card spot. 9 wins would have got us into the wild card spot. So close but no cigar. But I mean, look at the rankings. Top 10 offense, top 10 passing offense. Running offense was good. Defense points allowed was not the best, but like yards and from through the air and on the ground, not brutal. Like just outside the top 10 for year 1 of rebuild, not bad. Bijan Robinson, the second leading rusher in the NFL. Michael Penix goes for just under 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns to 17 picks. Picks are a little high, but for like our first true full season for him starting, you know, if we kind of view it as like, you know, he's kind of a rookie, that's not a brutal starting point. Bijan Robinson with 1,500 yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. Receiving, we got over 1,000 yards for Kyle Pitts and 8 touchdowns. Hasn't hit that since his rookie campaign. 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns for Drake London. So that's legit wide receiver 1 numbers. Mooney was solid with 900 yards. I think if the plan is to keep Pitts in the slot, we might want to prioritize like getting a little bit more of a game changer at tight end too. Like the last time we did this was Brock Bowers with the Vegas Raiders. And then at least we had Michael Mayer kind of taking those tight end reps. And with all due respect to Charlie Warner, that might just be a position we want to try to prioritize. And I think if maybe BPA ends up being a tight end at some point, we need to consider that. Bijan Robinson, 350 yards and another 6 receiving touchdowns, giving him 17 total on the year. What a freaking weapon. And on the defensive side of the ball, well, we got 190 tackles from Caden Ellis, 162 from Bates. All these guys are going well over 100, which is kind of nuts. We got 11 sacks on 13 TFLs for Brandon Dorless, which is a little bit of a breakout. 7.5 sacks for James Pearce on 6 TFLs. Just under 80 tackles, 8 TFLs. 5.5 sacks for Jalon Walker. Again, you know, not the hottest start, but I mean, both those guys probably, you know, will be in the defensive rookie of the year discussion. Like, those aren't brutal numbers, especially, you know, it's a 3-4 defense at the end of the day. Interceptions not bad. Xavier Watts, the rookie at Notre Dame, with 2 picks, tied for first on the team, which is pretty surprising considering depth. So I don't think anything is possible. Geno Smith just won MVP. If you have not seen our Raiders offseason rebuild, that's easily been my favorite rebuild we've done all year long. Go check it out because you know Geno Smith is that dude. We had 3 of the top 5 for defensive rookie of the year. Jalon Walker gets it. That's kind of surprising, but if he gets free dev trade, I'm not going to complain about it. We also ended up having running back of the year go to Bijan Robinson. Very much deserved. At the end of the season, as far as dev traits are concerned, Kyle Pitts has a shiny new superstar dev, and I bet if Michael Penix cut down on those interceptions, he too would have gained a dev trait increase. On the defensive side of the ball, we have James Pearce Jr. His dev trait, his hidden dev as a rookie was star. Jalon Walker's hidden dev was also a star, but because he got that defensive rookie of the year, he is up to a superstar dev. Look at the rest of the defense. I think Clark Phillips kind of got screwed. I thought he could have had a dev trait because usually tackles take a big priority in the dev trait under the hood calculations. But whatever, we're fine. I'm having a couple retirements. My mentor QB factory, all retired. But more importantly, Jake Matthews, our very reliable starting left tackle, retires after 12 seasons. An incredible Iron Man of today's NFL. Like, never misses a game. We just have to go replace our franchise left tackle. No big deal. We do have Matthew Bergeron, who played tackle in college, but I'd rather not shuffle those guys around and just find a true replacement. But with no first-round pick in this upcoming draft class, I'm not overly optimistic this could be a great tackle sitting there for us in the second round. Maybe we'll get a good role in free agency. So right before we start free agency, I think looking at Caleb McGarry, like there's just no way he's going to take that offer, right? Like a 1-year, $10 million. See, like no chance. Because I mean, I don't want to get into that, into the weeds a little bit. I do think, however, I'm going to accept the option for Bijan Robinson. This is one of the rare cases because it's running back. It's yada, yada, yada. His price can't go up anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I decline this. He's going to want whatever. Let's just say $100 million. Probably could be more. But he's going to want $100 million. If I pick up this fifth-year option and then give him a contract in 2 years' time, he's still going to want like $110 million, like $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this $13 million, it makes sense for Bijan because that's going to be a lot cheaper than what the extension is going to cost him. So we are actually, unfortunately, even though I am for the brand of running backs, we're going to do him a little bit dirty here by picking up the fifth-year option. A small kind of win before we look at free agency. Xavier Watts, who played really damn well, led our team technically tied for interceptions. Because we're letting Fuller walk, he has a path to start at strong safety. So that's certainly future-proofing the position. Thank you very much, Atlanta. Let's go to free agency. We got two top targets at positions of need. One is Ivan Pace at linebacker, and actually I think there's a lot of value there. I came with a pretty substantial offer, and it was still like less than it could have been. Then we got Rasheed Walker. This is one that's competitive, but there's just really, you're not going to find a lot better tackles. 26.81 with a dev trade at this point in time. I need both left and right tackles. If I get at least one of these in free agency, I'll be happy, but overall, not a lot of interest in either one of these players, so I did have to overpay, and it won't be necessarily shocking if they don't pick the good guys. I feel like I'm going to get Pace and miss out on the tackle, but let's hope we get both. Come on, buy into the project. All right, great. I just need to go into the draft and find two starting tackles. Sick. I have 3 picks this draft. I had to do a lot of work. The only reason why we have 3 picks is I did a lot of work to ensure that we had decent picks. We have 47, 62, 79. I need 2 tackles and an outside corner. Let's see if we can make a miracle happen. All right, so our first pick is at pick 15 of the second round. Let's just see. Did any corners or tackles go ahead of us? Christian Gray went, which is annoying. Dunker went at 39. Very annoying. Oh, my God. Look, it's just literally corners running off the board. Let's see. I did get a couple scout. I know. We got projected UDFA talents. Oh, my God, dude. At least day 3 on Nolan Rucci. He goes A pass block. See, how does that equal projected UTFA on Malman? B pass block, B run block. I'm not seeing a single thing. Like, does he just have a terrible combine? Maybe that's dodging a bullet there, pretend. And Blake Miller here is another projected UDFA. There's no way. That's, you know, these are obviously with the portraits like modified classes. Like, there's just no way. B pass block, B run block is like he's going to be like at least in the 70s, like low 70s. Okay, what do we got at corner? Well, I didn't get any scouting done on these top corners, even though that was my focus scout position. Do we have C-man? Okay, we got Jeremiah Wilson from Houston as B-man C-zone. When's he going? He's going second, third round. So I think I have to grab one of those tackles and just say, call bullshit. I guess all things equal, we'll go Nolan Rucci because he has a picture. A pass block, C run block. Not a great combine, but I'm going to be honest, those projected UDFA things are scaring me. I've never seen that. Jesus Christ. 157 at 47. But he does have a dev trade. Okay. And work with that. Could have been a lot worse. If that was normal dev, I'd be restarting this draft. And you wouldn't see this in the video. No, I don't do that. It's funny when I mess up. Now, here's where I think we can have a little bit of fun. I would have been fine going Miller. It's like just seeing what these UDFA talent players were about because the letters lined up pretty well. Looking at the corners, he's still got Wilson there. BC, what's the speed? Does he have speed that I can't? He's 5, so he's undersized. Not really an outside guy. So what we do have, though, is I said, like, if we put Kyle Pitts in the slot, like, I need another tight end with upside. The top tight end in the class is here. Eli Stowers out of Vandy. 6'4", 235, elites. Let's have a little bit of fun, man. Let's put this offense over the top. He'll be our... What the hell, dude? 150 in true value. Okay, we get a dev trade. He's a hell of an athlete. But needs a haircut, if you know what I mean. I think our only other option right now for the state of our offensive line is to draft a guard which we will do here, and DJ Campbell is the best remaining guard, and then move Matthew Bergeron, who was drafted as a tackle, moved into guard, back to tackle. And we get a dev trade on DJ Campbell. So, hey, at bare minimum, we only have 3 picks. All 3 of our picks, in a ways, would have been nice to grab a corner, but in a ways are what we needed. And they all have dev traits, even if probably the ratings aren't going to be particularly good because our true value ratings have not been the best. But I'll screw the true value. If I'll take dev trade every day of the week over having and winning on the true value score. So they look at our draft recap. Oh, no. Nolan Arucci does have the dev trait, but 68 is certainly not ideal. Campbell, 70 with a dev trait. Stowers, the best of the class, 73 with a dev. He's going to allow us to continue to be creative with Kyle Pitts, continue with the 1,000-yard season that he has with his switch into the slot, and now Stowers is going to be able to hopefully give us a lot more juice out of that tight end position. So going to your number 2, we've had some changes, but for our limited draft picks, the fact that we now have a starting left guard, we have a starting right tackle. Hopefully we're not getting worse at 2 positions by moving Bergeron back to where he played in college at left tackle with Kyle Pitts in the slot, where he went from star to superstar last season. We're now going to take Eli Stowers, the best tight end from last year's draft class, and see if he can give us a little bit better production than what we had at a Warner last year, which is still pretty good. He's almost, 600 yards, 5-6 touchdowns. I think that this is going to unlock the offense. It was already very good last season. The defense is what was a little underwhelming, but we have the reigning defending defensive rookie of the year. We bring in Ivan Pace to lead the middle of the defense. A little worried about the front 3. I thought Dorless, he had 11.5 sacks last season. Absolutely shocking that on a normal dev player, 45 tackles, 13 TFLs, 11 sacks, does not get you a dev trade increase. But we know he plays well, so continue that, and maybe we'll 8-9. My goal this year is above 500 at minimum. So about midseason of year number 2, we are 4-6, which is not where we want to be. Coming off a nice win here over the Panthers. Kind of feels like one of those years we've won the games that we're expected to win, lost the games that were a little bit tougher, which kind of sucks. I mean, our team's not bad. 84 overall should be enough to, have a little bit more success than what we've had. But we do have $195 million. That is obviously because we have Michael Penix on a rookie deal. It's a big reason of it, at least anyways. Looking at our contracts, we have Clark Phillips up first. I don't want him going anywhere. I think he's going to be a long-term corner. Look at that. It is very reasonable, even if I just pay him a little bit more. 27 over 5 for a guy that's his ceiling's 85, 86, 87 plus of a corner. That is going to age incredibly well of a contract. We have Matthew Bergeron, our new left tackle. I'd like to get him on a 5-year, $74 million. That's a little more than I'd love to pay, but I don't have to worry about tackle there. Mooney he's kind of a role player right now in our offense, and I'd rather put that money elsewhere here. We have Jesse Bates, who's one of the best safeties in the league, 4-year. Now, he's probably not going to be the end of that contract. He's going to be regressing, which won't be ideal. But it's kind of a move you got to make. Same here with Drake London, 5-year, $162 million for our wide receiver 1. Got 1,000 yards last season. Him and Kyle Pitts both went over 1,000. That's exactly where I want the offense to be. And I think that's what we need the offense to be. Again, it just doesn't make sense. We are here at our actual bye week 14, so it's late in the season. Look at our rankings, dude. How's that a below 500 team? And there you have it. We finished year 2 the exact same we finished year 1. I'm telling you right now, we should not have lost to the Browns. I thought for sure, look at the schedule, all right, we're going to get 2 wins. Browns, Saints, both garbage teams, and go at least above 500, which is kind of our bare minimum goal for year 2. Get the brakes beaten off us by the Browns. Brutal. Come 8-9. 9-8 would have put us in contention for first place in the division. So we're not far off. Especially, it's annoying when you see the lines going 16-1. Maybe share a couple wins over here. When you look at our rankings, it's not bad, but we're a team that, what's our identity right now? We have Bijan Robinson, but is that enough? Michael Penix has a regressive year. Interceptions are still a little high. Touchdowns aren't killing it. And he got a contract extension coming up next season, and I'm not loving the idea of paying him a whole lot of money. This is Bijan Robinson's team right now until it's not. We did get our 2,000-yard receivers just barely. But that's the combo that I want. And then that's also the upgrade I want to see from the tight end spot. Stowers with almost 850 yards and another 4 touchdowns. I think we can rock and roll with these 3. Mooney's going to hit free agency. We're going to have to replace that. Not overly worried. But I think this is going to be our big 3. Defensively, Tackles off the chart. That must be something with the mod. Like, there's nothing officially like a gameplay mod, but that is certainly kind of standing out that these tackles are a little bit higher. For the sacks, 10.5 for Jalon Walker, 6.5 6 from Dorless, Trice with 5. Is James Pearce just like not playing? What is going on here, dude? We sabotaged the draft. This last draft so we could have James Pearce. And dude, unless something happened with my depth chart, him and Jalon Walker are like my 2 sub pass rushers. So he's there. Yet Trice got all the play. So that is, that's very weird. Very, very weird. I have to give a shout out though. Chris Lindstrom wins Lineman of the Year. And I was including our locker as far as depth traits are concerned. I wasn't really expecting anybody to go up on the defensive side. Honestly, I was maybe a little more worried that like James Pearce would lose his dev trait. But on the offensive side of the ball, we did. And I mean, the reclamation project is well underway as Kyle Pitts finishes this season. I'm going to put the C on his chest as a superstar X Factor. We have a massive decision to make. I mean, that was a problem when you drafted Michael Penix. You got an older quarterback, so now we're at the end of his rookie deal, and he's 27. So he has, at the most, 3 years left of development. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to accept this option because if he doesn't play any better next year, like I have the skill position guys here. X Factor and Kyle Pitts. Stowers is almost 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end. Drake London's a bona fide superstar wide receiver. So if Michael Penix can still struggle to get 30 touchdowns and he's throwing well into the double digits, this might have to be the rebuild that, like, hey, rip the Band-Aid off, go somewhere else at quarterback, draft one, find one. We go back free agency spots where we grab a middle linebacker. We get Henry To'oTo'o from the Houston Texans, 26-77 with a dev trait, and it means we're going to go into this upcoming draft. We need a nose tackle, and we need an outside corner. Bad. Take a look at the final mock draft. Well, it's going to be fun having Jeremiah Smith to deal with in the division. That's why we need corners to shut down these dudes. We're going to be picking late. I'm seeing lots of corners go early, which is annoying. That's just sensational. Okay, well, Zayden Brown's going to be in our range. There's no nose tackles in this class, which kind of sucks. So, I mean, we're in an all right spot. But you'd love to think that if you're picking in the teens, you kind of have the pick of the litter at corner, and it almost looks like we're going to have like, whatever's left. But pick 15 of the first round, we have got to make sure we make the most of this investment. Corner and D-tackle are our 2 gigantic positions in need. We have the very talented Christian Miller, but at 6'4", 306, not the nose tackle. I mean, Justin Scott here, potentially in the second round at 311, could get by at nose tackle. It's just a very light class, unfortunately. So maybe we wait till next year to go after our nose. Looking at the corners, we have Zabian Brown, Leonard Moore from Notre Dame, D'Angelo Pons from Indiana. I'm actually surprised Leonard Moore is still here. He's the guy that I thought would be gone. Very talented corner from Notre Dame. Did not attend the combine, so that always piques my interest a little bit. You have Zabian Brown from Alabama. Letter grades are good. Combine's also not too bad. Pons is more of a nickel. Of course. I'm going to go Leonard Moore here to Notre Dame. I didn't think he was going to be available. 23 in true value. Getting him at 15 with the dev trait. That's an outside guy. Jeremiah Smith coming to the division. We need dudes that can stop him. I think with Terrell Moore and Clark Phillips, we got a very competent secondary. Now into the second round, I don't want to put evil thoughts in anybody's head. But we got Fernando Mendoza, the Cal transfer to Indiana. 6'5", 220, all A's. Good throw power. I mean, he's not a dual threat or anything. That's one of those, like, you know, we do not love what we're getting out of Michael Penix to this point. Do we, you know, like, it's one of those, like, do we not? Do we? I think let's look around. Look at Justin Scott there, D-tackle. I don't really need linebackers right now. I don't need any more corners. Feel great about our safety room. I hate the idea that this pick means like now there's pressure. A second round pick's a pretty big investment. But we're gonna do it, man. I think a death sentence for this rebuild would be if Michael Penix has another year where he goes 28 to 32 touchdowns, 14 to 17 picks, and then we're just like, oh, we got to pay a 28-year-old quarterback, $100-some million. Or you get someone like Mendoza, 48, we get him at 47. He has a dev trait. Let's go. He's not a nose tackle. I don't know. Can he beef up to be a nose tackle? Dominic McKinley still here in the third round at LSU. Second, third round talent. 61 at 79. No dev trait, but the base rating should be pretty solid. So take a look at our draft recap. Feel pretty happy with it, all things considered. No one below a 65. Got a punter. We got Mose Phillips at safety here. Not a brutal selection. Just adding depth. Because if you're looking at like next, even though we just gave him a contract, next guy to regress on the defense is unfortunately going to be Jesse Bates. So I thought kind of just go with BPA. Combine was off the charts for him in terms of speed compared to everybody else. McKinney 68. We get Mendoza 73 dev trade quarterback, which certainly makes things interesting when we look at how we're going to evaluate Michael Penix. Because obviously there's no quarterback drama right now. Michael Penix is going to be our starter for another season. It's only a second round pick. Worst case, if Michael Penix does play really well, I will obviously give him the opportunity because it's a Falcons rebuild. Imagine most Falcon fans would love to see a scenario where Michael Penix works out. So he has that going for him. But if he sucks, I'm not going to have to get put into a corner and have to pay him. I have someone very interesting. Michael Penix is good. We have a very interesting trade piece here in Mendoza. I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would trade for a dev trade quarterback. And then again, with Jeremiah Smith coming in the division, maybe one of the most overpowered wide receivers. Let's just make sure the Saints got him. Yeah, 81 wide receiver. So with him coming to the division, we need to be all hands on deck in the secondary. And I think Leonard Moore is exactly what the doctor ordered. Now, to start year number 3, I suppose it's valid to say, what if we're at midseason and it's not looking good again? We're 4-7, and Penix is not looking great. Do you pull the trigger there? That might have to be a question that we have. Nick Nash is going to have an opportunity, even though it's, you got to look at our depth chart as like Drake London, wide receiver 1, Kyle Pitts, wide receiver 2, Nash at the 3, Stowers at tight end, which looks a lot better when you break it down that way. Feel optimistic again about the offensive line. I think I just have no issues about the offensive side of the quarterback spot. We just haven't got the next level for Michael Penix. On the defensive side, it's been weird. We really need to see James Pearce kind of heat up here a little bit. Luckily, Jalon Walker's been very good. In the secondary, we're going to go Terrell and Moore on the outside with Phillips in the slot. It would be cool to get a dev trade here on one of these front 3 guys. They've generally played well this rebuild, just unfortunately if not to get a dev trade. We have Toto now with pace in the middle of the defense. So you completely invigorate the middle and make it that much difficult to run on it and throw us, target over the middle. Maybe those guys will get a couple picks. That'll be my bold prediction right now. I bet you one of those linebackers leads our team in picks this year. After roughly about mid-season, 4-2, better, man. Adding the quarterback certainly has got everyone on the same page. Getting a defensive player of the week performance from James Pearce Jr., so he might be having a little bit of a breakout season. Weird stat line, 2 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, 2 recoveries, and a touchdown, but that's any type of positive for him, which has been a rough start to his career. We just need to justify that future first-round pick that was given up. Look at our contracts, $131 million. So we have some rookie contracts coming up, but how we want to handle this business, let's see here. Josh Graves has been solid at center, but just has not developed crazily. Nick Nash, how is he starting? Like, is he thriving in that role? Absolutely not. He's not even getting looked at. So it's, he's depth. Braylon Trice is depth. I mean, these contracts are very reasonable for depth guys. Like, I want to give 2 years to Braylon Trice just in case I can't afford to bring back both James Pearce and Jalon Walker. Obviously, we're going to prioritize Jalon Walker. I mean, these contracts aren't bad at all. Like, for depth. Like, Nick Nash, I'm fine with having him as depth. Part of that rookie class. We have Brandon Dorless. This is a guy that's played a lot better than his contract and rating. I mean, he had 11.5 sacks year 1. Shocked he did not go up depth trade. So we're getting some very, very reasonable contracts here. Nate Carter's been our RB2. UDFA, I think, out of Michigan State. Yep. I mean, I really don't want to pay an RB2. Oh, okay. Now he's going to You got a little bit of a cocky agent here. We got Rook Orororo. Now, you know if I can say that, I'm gonna. I mean, just keep the. I mean, it's a bummer that none of that front three has gone up dev traits, but they're solid players. And if you're gonna give me a very cut rate deal on keeping them back here, I don't need necessarily game changers there, because my game changers need to be Jalon Walker and James Pearce. Let that front three do the ugly work, the dirty work, and then let my pass rushers rush the damn passer. Now, here's where the contracts kind of get a little shitty. Do you want to pay Bijan Robinson $100 million? I think you kind of have to. He's been top 3 running back since we've started this rebuild. You know, we got him. Dude, just, okay, 10-4. Look at the ranking. We just got 66 in the sim. That might be the most points I've ever seen scored in a sim, by far. And we've had a 48 bomb. We had a 48. I've not changed a single damn thing. And we put up 66. 5 touchdowns, Michael Penix. 3 rushing touchdowns. Bijan went off. Stowers at tight end's a monster. Defensively, I don't know. Shocked. So we finish year number 3 after back-to-back 8 and 9 seasons. We go 12-5. We're the 1 seed. We win the NFC South for the first time of the rebuild. We have the number 1 offense, number 7 defense. I changed absolutely nothing. I didn't even at any point consider being like, oh, we need to scheme change. You know, we're rocking what Raheem Morris is rocking with. And yeah, Michael Penix finishes first. I mean, low. 35 to be first in the league at 35 is kind of low. But 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, 13 picks. So drafting a quarterback in the 2nd round. Lit a fire under his ass. Bijan killed it. 2,000-yard receivers. And it's Stowers. I got 2,000. Okay, now we know Pitts is a wide receiver. We put him at slot. 2,000-yard receivers, though. Somewhere Bill Belichick knew it was possible when he had Gronk and Hernandez. That's funny. Defensively, obviously tackle machines. We got pass rush going 16.5 sacks for James Pearce. Took what he got year 1 and year 2, combined it. Rook or Hororo, 14.5, 11.5 Jalon Walker, 11 for Brandon Dorless. See, that's why you pay those guys. Now, I'll be very upset if there's no dev traits gained here, especially Dorless. That is his 2nd time going over double-digit sacks. He's been stuck on that normal dev. And then, obviously, a huge breakout came. A.J. Terrell with 6 picks, 4 for Phillips, 4 for Bates, 3 from the rookie Leonard Moore, whose hidden dev is just a start, but outstanding. Michael Penix comes 3rd in MVP voting, so I guess there's the answer to the question of whether or not is he the quarterback we pay going forward. He also wins quarterback of the year. Bijan wins running back of the year, and we get lineman of the year for 2nd straight season going to Chris Lindstrom. So the first round of the playoffs. I mean, because we got that first round bye, 1 win, and we're in the championship game from 2 straight below 500 seasons. But we can't get that far ahead. Green Bay is a tricky team to run up against. They can score with anybody. Their defense is not too bad, just outside of a top 10 defense. But, I mean, I wouldn't be shy if we put up 60 points. And look, it's not even that close. 30-13. This Falcons team is on a run. We get both player of the weeks. Orororo gets 2 sacks. Michael Penix with kind of just like a modest performance. I guess that's more so credit to our defense and how they shut down Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. And here in the NFC Championship game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl, we have a damn good Detroit Lions team. 91 overall with a 93 offense. That is pretty disgusting to have built in the sim. Damn, that's going to be a tough one. We'll show them respect. We'll upgrade our players here. 2 starters, Kyle Pitts, Nolan Rucci. Come on. Damn, that's a damn... Man, that's one of the better, sim-built teams I've seen. Fuck. They got us. Damn it. Oh, it's not even close. I mean, you can live with that, I guess. I mean, very incredibly disappointing. But that is like a super team they got going on there. They got their 2-headed running back punch. Damn. No sacks for the good guys. No turnovers for the good guys. I mean, I didn't even expect to make the playoffs this year. let alone we were the best team. How are we better than Detroit? That's what I want to know. How did we get the 1 seed over them? And Detroit gets their cheeks clapped by the Browns. What? I was including our lockers. We had a great season. Now we need to pour one out as Drake London loses his superstar dev going under 1,000 yards, which is, I think anytime you're a superstar or an X Factor and you go under 1,000, that's always a risk at play. But his sacrifice allowed Eli Stowers to go superstar, allowed Michael Penix to make the jump from normal up to a star. Mendoza keeps his dev trait, which there's always a chance when you bench a guy that doesn't see the field that he'll lose it. So that helps for his trade value as you try to figure out what's going to be the best plan going forward at quarterback. But it kind of has to be Michael Penix, right? Quarterback of the year, third in MVP voting, even though he is 28. We'll see. Big news on the defense, though. We get both Dorless and Orhoro go up dev trait from normal to star. Clark Phillips gets a dev trait from normal to star. And James Pearce makes the jump from star up to a superstar. That's excellent. Couldn't ask for a better role. Absolutely would sacrifice superstar and Drake London for everyone else to get theirs. So what we're going to do here, just so I don't have to pay both these guys at the same time, I'm going to decline the option on Jalon Walker so we can give him extension, but we're going to pick up the 5th-year option for James Pearce just because Walker's been good every year. James Pearce had a flash-in-the-pan season to this point, and until he shows the consistency, I'd rather, get an extra year of him at $12 million versus paying him probably 20 plus is what he's going to want on the open market. We have a light free agency class because we got some expensive in-house guys that we need to keep. I mean, when you're looking at this, we could probably use upgrade at wide receiver, like a wide receiver 2. Don't want to pay a lot, though, because their role's limited. They're really going to be our 4th option. Still need a nose tackle. McKinney was solid, but he's not really a true nose. And, I mean, that's it. So if those are our needs, you only got 2, you can count on one hand. Let's draft those. Let's not pay top price for those on the market. But pick 30 of the first round. We know our needs. Wide receiver. Need a nose tackle. Need a big D tackle. Doesn't have to necessarily be a nose, but I need a big D tackle. For the wide receivers, I didn't love the players that are available early on, anyways, to go super early. The best letter grades is Evan Mumphrey of Louisville. I didn't like it. The one guy that kind of caught my eye, and it's not, we're gonna put him on the back. We're not even gonna think about it for a minute. Was way down here, Tremaine Norton. Letter grades suck, but 6'6", and he ran a 4.3. So, there's the flyer. There's the guy, because we don't need a wide receiver. We needed a wide receiver from, the depth chart looking nice. But, we just need, a role player. And I'd rather get a 6'6" freaking nature like that. So, we're looking at nose tackles. One nose tackle in the class, and he sucks. These nose tackles never suck. But Felix Wilson at 355 sucks, dude. 3rd, 4th rounder. Very annoying. So the only other guy that I scouted, and I was just straight up going off of strength at this point. Wasn't getting the weight that we liked, and that is Cole Harris, who did pull a great strength, 38 reps on bench press. Hell of an athlete. I think this needs to be our pick here. Come on, 24 in true value at 30. We get the dev trait, 90 plus strength. Hell yeah, dude. This guy grows into his body. He's a nose tackle. I thought, when you have Bijan Robinson, you don't really need a lot, but when you have a great running back, we know these types of power back, a carry, a break tackle. I don't care. He's day 3. We have seen the RB2 here put up meaningful numbers. So you get day 3. Look, he's number 6. Easy slam dunk pick. Can't pat myself on the back. Can't go, that's why I'm the best in the business. You can literally be someone that picked up the game for the first time. If you know A is better than F, you're like, oh, look at the A's on this guy. Day 3 pick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's too easy. We're just in BPA territory now. So we got Daniel Carmichael here in the 3rd round. Has B pass block, B run block. Great combine grades. Don't really need a guard, but you don't need a guard till you need a guard. And Carmichael, stud, BPA. I'm just going to follow the board right now. I'm just going to kind of finish up my board with the freaking nature. Tremaine Norton, 6'6" with 4.3 speed. Ends up being 69 in true value at 94. No dev trait. Damn. It's a hell of an athlete, though. 98 agility, 96 change on direction at 6'6". And he's 80s. Just a weird-looking player, dude. And take a look at our draft recap. Very happy with how the class all came through. Got a couple depth moves here. Got a 70 D end and Beltran. 72 normal on Norton, 72 dev trade on Carmichael, 76 top 10 player in the class in Beck in the second round, just to make our run game that much more dominant. And then we get Cole Harris 74 with a dev trait at pick 30 to come and play. It did feel like a little bit of a weaker class. Like, I don't think there's going to be any generational players in it. Yeah, 78's kind of the top. I mean, yeah. I think we did relatively to the talent that's in the class, we did very well. So we're here at week number 4 of year number 4 of this rebuild. Coming off, I mean, we lost to the Lions, which sucks because they're kind of like our new rival, I'd like to think, in the NFC. But we beat the Saints, divisional rival, get a nice win. We get a Player of the Week performance from Michael Penix, and that is why we are here right now, because his contract is up, and I want to get ahead of that contract so he doesn't keep playing like a top 3 MVP again, and that number's just going to keep going up. Also, if we do pay him, that makes Mendoza our dev trade quarterback. Like, we got to trade him. We got to ship him out because I think there's definitely value there. And Michael Penix, I was thinking he was looking for $200 million. He wants 60? 3 years, 63. What? Which is, got a lot of money now. Xavier Watts, done. AJ Terrell, done. Here's what we paid. 6-year, $209 million for Jalon Walker. That is why we picked up the 5th-year option of Pearce. Did not want to deal with both those contracts at the same time. Chris Lindstrom, done. Back-to-back lineman. Probably the best lineman in the NFL right now. Now, I hated doing this within the division, but the Bucs are the only team that had quarterback as their number 1 need. So I'm going to send Mendoza, 76, star dev quarterback, 2nd-year player. Our 2nd-round pick this upcoming draft. Our 4th-round pick this upcoming draft, and a future 3rd to get the Bucs first-rounder this coming draft. Now, first-round pick. Sick. I got 2 first-round picks. Bad news, if Mendoza's a baller, we're going to have to deal with that twice a year. And I can totally see a scenario where he ends up like knocking us out of the playoffs or something stupid like that. But, best of luck. It all worked out. Now, I think the one little worry is Michael Penix didn't start playing like this till we brought in Mendoza. Is there actually something? Is there an algorithm? Is there AI under the hood saying Michael Penix needs to be pushed to play good, and now that there's no one there coming for his job, he's going to go lackadaisical? Got paid, got his big contract, it's over? There's a worry there. And you know what? Just because he retired in real life an hour ago, which means I'm probably going to be rebuilding the Saints next. Still in the game. We'll let Derek Carr come in and be just the mentor. He's not going to see the field. You can stay half retired. Just mentor Michael Penix. And another reminder of how dominant this Falcons team can be. Just beat the absolute crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs 31-17 in the sim. Very difficult to do. Just keep going. Week 8, Jalon Walker, 10 tackles, 4 sacks. Monster. Dude, you can't fucking make this up. We trade, and Michael Penix sucks again! No! We somehow make the playoffs. Unbelievable. We were 6-2. Finished 8-9. Dude, I need the quarterback back. And then where's my run game? Oh my god, dude. Unbelievable. Where's my team from last year? Only thing that saves us right now is that the NFC South was a joke and 8-9 was good enough to win it. All right, take a look at our stat. I mean, Michael Penix played well. 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. It's not like immediate remorse. You know, he wasn't the reason why we slowed down. Bijan Robinson still had a decent year. Kyle Pitts went off. Stowers and both London. I mean, you'd like to see maybe a little more out of London. 800 yards, 4 touchdowns from our freak of nature that we drafted. Bijan with 5 receiving touchdowns. But I mean, one better game, and we have 3,000-yard receivers. So I'm not going to be too harsh there. Defensively, tackles off the charts. Look at that from Jalon Walker. 109 tackles, 19 TFLs, 19.5 sacks, 19 sacks from Jace Pearce Jr., 9 from Dorless with 17 TFLs. Trice and Aurora getting after it, dude. 5 picks, Terrell. This defense on fire. But you look at the rankings, nothing special. We end up with Tremaine Norton. Of course, as soon as I set my focus scout to wide receiver for this upcoming draft class with 2 first-round picks, our 6'6", Day 3 pick gets offensive rookie there, so likely a dev trade increase there, and we don't need a wide receiver anymore. That is awesome. We also get linebacker there going to Jalon Walker, with second place going to James Pearce. So in a weird way, if we can ignore the fact that we're 8-9, year 4, we are NFC South champions. We have the offensive rookie of the year, the 2 exciting draft picks, which is why we're probably rebuilding Atlanta the first place here today, with James Pearce and Jalon Walker are 2 of the best pass rushers in the NFL. So things are maybe not as doom and gloom as they seem. And, let's see, at home against Seattle, we just beat them in the regular season. 2 straight wins, 38-7. Wasn't even close, with a player of the week performance from Brandon Dorless. 4 fumble recoveries. What? I mean, this game wasn't even close. Penix was solid. We forced 2 turnovers on Sam Darnold. Our run game was consistent. Shout out Stowers with the touchdown defensively. There's our sacks. There's the turnovers. And, just thoroughly belt to ass. And now we get the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, our potential arch nemesis in this whole thing might end up being Detroit, especially if they win and we win. But we got Dallas, but also we kind of took it to the Chiefs in the regular season. So these overpowered teams, we've been able to be the ugly 8-9 team that can be a thorn in their ass. And Dallas's offense is not what it used to be. No more Dak Prescott. Defense is pretty good. Let's see. I mean, if it is what it is, we got 2 first-round picks. I don't even worry, because we're going right back to the championship game against the goddamn Detroit Lions. 34-21, high-scoring matchup there. I clearly thought I hit discombobulated. I didn't get any player of the week. Okay. It's weird. Guess everything, all the shine went to the Lions in their win. That's probably why the Arch Manning said, oh, that's gross. Michael Penix, just an ugly game throwing the football. And the defense, well, 2.5 sacks. Jalon Walker might be the best pass rusher in the league. Billy Bowman gets a pick. And just like that, we get another swing at the Detroit Lions to get to a Super Bowl. Auto-upgraded play. They're still good. They didn't lose anybody, which is brutal. Like, a lot of times when I tend to find those super teams built in like a sim rebuild, the next season they can't afford it. Like, they're losing guys. They're losing pieces. You see Jahmyr Gibbs. You see an Aiden Hutchinson hit free agency. Not the case here, but at least this year we're 91s all across the board. So if you throw it again, our ugly 8-9 record, we are on paper, almost as good as Detroit. Technically, just as good. Both 91 overalls. Both clearly the best teams in the NFC. Will it be our turn? I'm on. Fuck. Oh. It's a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. 2 poverty franchises, man. Just running it back again. Good for them. I say poverty with all due respect for appreciating that they're good now finally, in at least some capacity, fictional or reality. And just did nothing. Offense did nothing. Defense did nothing. Deserved to lose. The Cleveland Browns have won 2 straight Super Bowls. What? Okay, well, as we clear out our lockers, Norton was normal dev, gets his dev trait for being Offensive Rookie of the Year. We have 2 X-Factor tight ends. Michael Penix makes the jump from star up to superstar at 29 years old, which is, this is going to be his last year probably before regression starts to hit in. Defensively, again, I think 19 sacks should probably get James Pearce up to X-Factor, but is what it is. Loses superstar on Bates. That's likely just an age regression thing. Okay. I'm Bates superstar. There we go. There's something went up. And actually, no, Jalon Walker, X-Factor. He wasn't an X-Factor last year, was he? Am I tripping? Hell yeah. Okay. Sick. All right, so taking a look at the final mock draft. We have 2 first-round picks. I think we're at a point right now where let's go get a guy. And 2 that look interesting. We have Michael's top 5, Howard top 5, Skinner top 5. Now, looking at Howard, I could always use, again, if I had to maybe knock my front 3 right now, is that they're all star dev. Probably at their ceilings as far as dev trade. So if we can get like a superstar Game changer, generational type player. And Howard looks top 5 talent, elite strength, elite speed. He looks pretty good. You also have Eric Skinner at wide receiver. Could we use another playmaker out there? 6'5", 220, 3 A's and a B. He runs a 4.42, elite jumping, great. I mean, again, another thing where it's just like, okay, well, the 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle kind of put me off a little bit. But I could probably swing the argument that wide receiver might plug and play a little bit better, and it won't cost as much. We're not going to fall victim to following the mock draft. We're going to go in here, and we'll see if one falls. I'm thinking pick 3 is doable, if not pick 4. Top 2 pick might be a little pricey. I just want to flip our 2 first-rounders this year to get one of these guys. Look at the Jags for pick number 2 to go get the D lineman. They are not looking at getting both of our first-rounders this year. Not brutal value, all things considered, but I really want to just... I mean, like you really want a 32-year-old. I mean, we're not gonna take him to Pound Town there. All right, so we're gonna look at trade up to pick 3. So we're able to make the trade. We had pick 10 this year, and then 29 or 30 or whatever it was. So we send both of our firsts. We're able to trade up to 3rd and get a 2nd next year in 2030. So I was able to squeeze on and tack on a little bit extra value there to get number 3 to leapfrog the Green Bay Packers, a rival, and we're going to go grab a wide receiver and just see if that makes this offense over the top. Because I think if you make the argument of like the D lineman, right? D lineman, now if he's an X factor or superstar or something crazy like that, then I probably want that. But how much more sacks can we have? 2 pass rushers getting 19 sacks each? Like they're literally having a sprint to can they both break the sack record in the same season? However, offensively, we went from having 3,000-yard receivers to like it's kind of dipping a little bit. Maybe Skinner's what we need. Number 3 in true value, getting him at 3. 6'5", 92 acceleration, 94 speed, 95 jumping with the dev trait. That's dangerous. And I think if I'm looking at the offense, Drake London's slowing down a little bit. Maybe this will give him the same kind of push drafting Mendoza gave Michael Penix at quarterback. The rest of the draft was dog shit, doesn't matter. 81 overall rookie, Eric Skinner. There's our Julio Jones successor. It has not been since the time of Julio Jones that the Falcons have had this big of a freak at wide receiver. Now, I do need to go see what I'm not going to say necessarily passed up on, but the player that we also was 78. What's the dev trade here? That combine, man, I'd be surprised if it's not at least a superstar. It's come on. You kidding me? All right, I got it. It makes no sense this way here. There's no change in the dev trade. If I change this dev trade, it wouldn't be hidden anymore. I got to see, because it's year 5. I had a theory. Just in case, because, if he was X Factor, someone would be like, oh, he saw the other guy's an X Factor, so he just made his guy an X Factor. Okay. That's what we needed. That gives us 3. We have 4 on the offense. You can only have 3 enabled at one time, but still technically, Pitts, Stowers, and Skinner. 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", all X factors to throw in with Bijan Robinson. Michael Penix better get 50 touchdowns this season. That's all I'm going to say. Look at the defense. I need 20 sacks each out of Pearce and Walker. I mean, it's going to be us in Detroit again. I would be shocked if that's not, to go to the Super Bowl here in year 5 when all is said and done. Dude, can't beat them. Detroit regular season 35-32 Why? What are we missing? Mid-season, we did bounce back from a 1-2 start, and we've gone on a win streak. We are now 5-2, but as a 92 overall team, I'm expecting we should be just crushing people. Maybe we lose to the top tier, the pinnacle, every now and again, but for the most part, we need to crush. And here's why we haven't been signing any free agents, because I want to keep Kyle Pitts, I want to keep Eli Stowers, I want to keep James Pearce Jr. I'm not even looking at the numbers here. $250 million James Pearce. Oh, that's nice. We have Ivan Pace. Oh, shit. Now, okay, now. Oh, dude. Okay, these okay. Now we're gonna have to slow down the spending just a little bit here. I think all things equal, you probably got to go right tackle, starting tackle here. And we'll let these are just two positions you can't really value. Ivan Pace at 28, looking for a 3-year. He's likely at his ceiling. If not, he has one more good year left. And then DJ Campbell, we're in the Madden Generate draft classes. You have to be a spectacular guard. Guard like Chris Lindstrom winning multiple linemen of the year for me to be like, you know what? If the budget's tight, usually I can go find one in the draft as long as there's one that exists. More often than not, they do exist. So at the end of the season, we go 13-4 and we don't get the first round bye. Number 1 offense, top 10 defense. Win the NFC South for the 3rd straight year, and it's who else? Detroit Lions 13-4. They get the 1 seed, huh? Bijan Robinson, leading running back in the league, most rushing yards. Michael Penix, 37 touchdowns, 7 picks, 4,200 yards. Hell of a year, man. Very, very good season. Run game was on point. That's why we got back when we did. I was like, you know what? We use a lot of RB2. Credit to the Falcons for when they had Algier. This sim offense kind of replicates real life. That's not always the case. Now, wait. I will say, Beck with 11 fumbles. That is not great. Pitts with 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards for Drake London. 8 and 9 for Stowers. 8 and 3 for Skinner. There's only so much to go around. Defensively, tackles are off the charts. We get 16.5 sacks, Jalon Walker, 10.5 Dorless, 9 from James Pearce, 8 from Rook. So a little bit of a dip in production there for James Pearce, a little bit of but still 9 sacks ain't bad. And the sacks overall collectively, very happy with that. 5 picks, Terrell, 4 from Phillips, 3 from Leonard Moore. Nice. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Michael Penix. What? I'm not going to complain. 37 touchdowns gets it nowadays. Coach of the Year goes to Raheem Morris. Hell yeah. So I imagine we got... Skinner gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's already an X Factor. Michael Penix gets Quarterback of the Year. We get Lineman of the Year to Chris Lindstrom. Damn, runner-up there for LB of the Year to Jalon Walker. And at no point, man, I feel like they valued the picks that we've been getting this year. Terrell at 8. It's disrespectful. So we got to run the gauntlet, and it starts against Mendoza. Guy we traded to the Bucks. I told you, there's going to be a way. At some point in time, he could absolutely... Luckily, it's not right now. That would have been almost too coincidental if he bumped us. He's not even playing for them. What are we doing here, Bucks? QB of the future. Get him out there. 3 touchdowns from your NFL MVP, Michael Penix. 200 yards rushing. What the hell is going on, dude? What a bizarre sim. That's all I could say. We get the sack there. Clark Phillips with the pick. Happy with it. But just weird. I didn't see if Detroit was still in this. I almost want that to happen. Okay, so we have Detroit there. We gotta get. I can't look past Dallas. Dallas are still the Cowboys. They have Arch freaking Manning at quarterback. So we will show them the respect here in the divisional round. But we are trying to make our 3rd straight NFC Championship game. See what we can do. Not even close. Put almost 50 points. Michael Penix, 4 touchdowns. Let's go. Just domination. The MVP playing like the MVP. Our run game is game-breaking. There's no other way to put it. I guess, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a rushing offense, if you end up like something where you just get 2 running backs, check out Atlanta's offense. And you couldn't ask for anything better. I think we're hopping in. We're going to watch this one. This is a Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl. Can we beat the Detroit Lions, or is it going to be the 3rd straight season they beat us to go to the Super Bowl? There's no way. We'll auto-upgrade our players here. I'm not just simming it. I never have anyone question my integrity. But for me, just to know, you can't force win in your sim. Because you sim it overrides any force that you may decide to do. This is it. If we can beat them, we're going to watch us beat them. If we can't beat them, I honestly have no idea what we need to do to beat them. But as you can see, we are all green. We have the advantage, technically, by whatever decimal point. But the webcam is blocked. We have the exact same rating. It is 92 offense, 93 offense, or 92 overall, 93 offense, 92 defense. on both sides of the football. All right, let's go. Michael Penix, Jared. Kyler Murray is their quarterback. Okay. That changed my opinion. I now think this needs to be a win. Nothing going on. I like our defense. I mean, both these are elites. I can't say like, oh, we have an advantage here. We're both all 90 plus in every category. This should be almost a dead even game. Second half, all tied up at 7. Hold to a field goal. We go down, and we're going to say we don't settle for field goals. We go for touchdowns. Come on, man. All right, everything to play for. 2 minutes. You guys tend to like it when I narrate play-by-play. It is year 5. I could technically hop in. 2-minute warning. We go, boom. We're running the football, I guess. Boom, there we go. To Skitter, the X Factor, 15 yards. We follow up with another shot. Hey, slow it down, fellas. Don't want to give them the ball too early. 2nd and 10, nothing. 3rd and 10, nothing. 4th and 10, what are we fucking doing here, fellas? Can we get the ball back? Dude. We still got a timeout. We could get in field goal range. No chance. Okay, we're going overtime. All right, we get the ball. Michael Penix, MVP, gets the ball first. And we start with runs. We take the ball complete out of his hands until... All right, here we go. I mean, it is year 5. I could hop in if I want to. I'd rather not. But Kyler Murray, I can't lose to them again. I literally traded multiple picks to get a pound-for-pound generational wide receiver to just put my team over the edge, to finally get past Detroit. And low-scoring game. I mean, this is canceling each other out at the highest level. They insta-score. We get the turnover here in the red zone. Okay, here's where I'm going to come in. Here's where it's unacceptable. I can't get a red zone turnover, right? And then not get it. So I'm gonna see if I can get them this first down. Best running back in the league. I'll get them this first. I'm not going to score, though. If they want to score, they got to score on their own. Thank God. We got 54 seconds to go win. Come on, baby. First play. Boom. Kyle Pitts, 15. Follow it up. Boom. 15. Looks like we're going to overtime. 14 to Kyle Pitts. And we're going to OT, baby. Okay. I mean, it wasn't going to be easy. Boom. What do we got here? Bijan. Boom. That's what we need. 3rd and 6. Bijan. 1st and 10 to Skinner. All right. It goes backwards a little bit. Not the end. And then we go, why are we running the football? Why are we 2 straight runs? Their territory? We're just taking the ball out of our MVP quarterback's hands. Now it's new rules. So touchdown here doesn't mean game over. But this is a hell of a drive. Come on, fellas. Give me what I want to see. Defensive penalty. They're scared. Backup running back runs in for the tutty. Keep him out the end zone. 90. I don't know, what's my defense? 92, 93? Let's see it. Going against Kyler freaking Murray. 2nd and 10. 1st and 10. 2nd and 17. A sack by Jalon Walker. And it is game. Oh, that must have been a turnover. I don't know who got it. But we fought. Let's see here. It's Kyler Murray. As soon as I saw Kyler Murray. Xavier Watts, baby. We're finally in the Super Bowl. Team of destiny. We earned it. We're the best team in the league. And we finally beat the Detroit Lions. Let's go. The Super Bowl on the line. The team that stands in our way is the 88 overall Buffalo Bills. 9-8. They have a top 10 offense, top 5 rushing offense. They still have Josh Allen, even though he's getting up there in age a little bit. But at the end of the day, with our ninth, like this might be our best team so far for our rebuilds. Just look at it. I think I just got an Xbox achievement. So that's where we're at. That's how damn good this team is, dude. 6'6" freaking nature, 6'5" freaking nature, 6'4", 6'5", 6'4". This has to be it, man. All right, let's go. We got the MVP right here, the most valuable Penix. I mean, just got to get across the line. We're a super team. What's the point of doing rebuilds if you have a team this well, this good, that can't beat a team in the Super Bowl, that you're 5 overall points better? And we are getting our cheeks clapped, dude. Slow first half. Like, how are we just not getting... Why is our offense pedestrian? That's the best way to put it, man. Down 6. Let's go play-by-play. I mean, we're in play-by-play time right now. Red zone, minute to go. Don't score too quickly. But score. There we go. Stowers, 11 yards. Extra point. We got the lead. Minute 32. Can my juggernaut defense keep them out? Penalty. Okay. Oh, let's go. James Pearce, 3rd and 19. Sack fumble. Jalon Walker. Michael Penix, Jalon Walker, back-to-back plays, seals us a Super Bowl. Let's go. 25-24. Couldn't have asked for, that's why we did the Falcons. Everyone wants to say, hey, they're the most requested team we've had in the last couple videos. It's clearly because the addition of Jalon Walker and James Pearce. And how are you going to handle not having that first-round pick in 2026? We handled just fine. MV Penix. Ended up building one of the strongest teams we've ever built in a rebuild. And soak it in. For the first time in franchise history, the Atlanta Falcons are Super Bowl champions. We did it the right way. We had drama. I drafted a quarterback. I thought Michael Penix had to get replaced. Here he is. Very likely MVP. If not, he'll share it with James Pearce and Jalon Walker. Let's go, dude. As we do with every rebuild, we like to get a recap of the stats and the play performances. And through 5 seasons, we got 21,000 yards, 171 touchdowns, 65 picks for Michael Penix. We're sitting on 9,600 yards and 66 touchdowns for Bijan Robinson, who has been absolutely lights out, very consistent, probably the most consistent playmaker of this rebuild. Receiving 8,200 yards and 57 touchdowns for the redeemed Kyle Pitts, 8,000 yards for Drake London. The combination of Stowers and Pitts was a very, very high IQ move to pat myself on the back. It worked out to absolute perfection. Defensively, we got Bates and Pace over 1,000 tackles. We got 63.5 sacks from X-Factor Jalon Walker, 53 from James Pearce, 47 from Dorless, 38 from Rook Ohororo. 32 picks, Jesse Bates, 25 AJ Terrell, 16 from Clark Phillips. I mean, just on all cylinders, a perfect rebuild. Everybody played good at some point in time. And then here, in year 5, they all played great the same season, the same time, and are Super Bowl champions. So there you have it, fellas. That is your off-season rebuild of the Atlanta Falcons. I think with today's news of Derek Carr retiring, maybe the Saints could be logically the next one up. But please let me know in the comment section below which team you want to see rebuilt next. We'll be doing all our rebuilds now with this Ultimate Rookie mod, which is awesome. It just gives us a new level of immersion that we haven't had in the first couple off-season rebuilds that we did. And if you want, you get your hands on this off-season rookie mod, and you are on PC, I dropped a video the other day on how to go get it and install it. Fortunately, again, it is only on PC because it's a mod, and consoles will never be able to have mods. But at the end of the day, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Leave a comment on what team to rebuild next. Helps out the channel and the video with the YouTube robots. The biggest battle, the ultimate rebuilds. I'm trying to figure out how to rebuild my channel in the eyes of the YouTube robots to push my content. out to people that are looking for franchise stuff here in Madden. So every time you guys like and comment, it helps out my channel more than you can imagine. So I very much appreciate it. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Mother's Day tomorrow. Quick reminder. Go out, get something nice. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I love you. Have a good one.